Well, it's time for Sunday brunch. We've got Julie Wheeler here in our research kitchen, and we're making sweet potato pancakes with an apple compote. That sounds so good. It smells good already. How do we get started here?
Well, first of all, you want to mix all the wet, and I mixed all the dry ingredients together just to kind of save us a little bit of time. So it's half a cup of white flour, half a cup of wheat flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Then you mix your wet ingredients together separate. So this is a cup of yogurt, non-fat.
Greek yogurt?
Mm-hmm. You know me and Greek yogurt.
Yes.
We're best friends.
Because Julie's always looking for ways to cut some calories out of things, and they always still taste good.
Exactly. That's a tablespoon of Splenda with brown sugar. This is a half a cup of egg beaters.
Egg beaters. See, again, these ingredients, the Splenda, the Greek yogurt, the egg beaters.
And then this is a cup of sweet potato. And basically, you know, you always have those leftovers.
Yeah.
And the leftover sweet potatoes are kind of like, what do I do with them after? Because I just don't want to just eat sweet potatoes. Mm-hmm. And this is a good way to use up the sweet potatoes. You can do it with regular potatoes as well if you have leftover potatoes.
Okay.
So you mix this all together first, and you I didn't add the milk yet because I want to make sure that this actually gets blended really well first. Then I add the milk, and this is a cup and a half of milk. And what I do is I do about half of it.
All right.
Then I'll add my dry, and then I add a little bit more because you don't want your batter to get too thin.
Okay.
So it does kind of depend, sounds crazy, a little bit on the consistency of the sweet potato.
Sure. So I guess if you know.
So if the sweet potatoes are drier, it's going to use a little more milk.
So depending on how you cook them probably the night before for Thanksgiving, that'll depend on how your batter turns out.
Exactly. So that's why I kind of reserve half the milk back. Then once you do that, you go ahead and you just add in your dry, and you just mix it together. There's our dry. And then you just kind of look for the consistency of the batter. You want it to be you don't want it to be like cake batter. Okay. You want it to be thinner than cake batter. And
pancake batter.
Yes, exactly. It's pancake batter, and everybody kind of knows the consistency, but I'll add a little bit more here. And then, once you do that, and I should take it all, actually, you're going to turn your heat on.
All right.
And you're going to use medium heat. Get your pan roll in there. And then this is like a 1/4 cup scooper.
Oh, cool. That's a great idea.
And I use a 1/4 cup scoop. That way my pancakes end up being the same size, and I can control my portions a little bit.
Yeah, it's like an ice cream scooper.
Exactly. And then once we do that, then these are our, I kind of cheated a little bit.
Well, that's okay. We don't have time to do everything.
These are apples, and this is just 4 apples, 4 gala apples, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of Splenda brown sugar.
Wonderful, and that could kind of be like your leftover apple pie. Well, we'll be back in just a little bit with the finished product here in the research kitchen. Thank you so much, Julie.